Alright, hello and welcome to Converge X, episode 2. I have no idea how many of these I'm going to do, but ultimately I have things I want to talk about, so I'm going to talk about them. This one's going to be more of a discussion of Arena, and I didn't want this to turn into a negative rant. Obviously we could go an hour discussing the bad economy and a few of the other things with there, so I decided to come at it with a more similar to the unbanned video. I decided to approach it in a slightly different, positive light, and I wanted to list quality of life changes I'd like to see worked on Arena. Now, Arena came out years ago now. I believe it originally launched in beta around the time of Amonkhet, because I remember seeing the Hazaret animation. Yeah, I remember when they used to do animations. But that's... it's been out for years, and we've seen less and less changes. There's been an emphasis on adding more weird stuff, like the entirety of Modern Horizons free, the preview commander cards from each commander set, special bonus sheets to farm mythics and stuff. So there's all these other things we could discuss, but I wanted to just focus on the 3 points that I would like to see raised and why I think they'd be good. First off, we need a replay system in Arena, and I'd like to see a robust system for a number of reasons. Obviously, the joke would be that, I want to just be able to download my replays and don't have to use my record capture software and all that stuff. That is true, but what I think would be really cool is if it was worked similar to, and I'm going to use an example from a different game here of Street Fighter and fighting games. One function you can do with the Capcom Fighter Network is you can have a fight and then you can see in your replays. Now, that's great because you can go back and look and think where you went wrong and stuff. That's a good function of replay, and one of the things I'd like to that would be good to use it for. But one thing you can do on their network is also go, wow, that guy was really cool. So for example, to put it into Arena, you could go, oh my god, that guy played a deck I've never seen before. I want to see more of it. I'll search his name in the replay network and find other games to see what he's playing. Now obviously you could link that to deck lists and stuff, but that's outside my purview. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you the difference between a line of code and a drunk accountant's scribblings. They're just numbers to me. So I don't know how realistic that would be, but I feel that that would be a great way to put forward. It would also just be fun to have a function where people could find and see more examples of decks. One of the reasons I think Pioneer is struggling is it's just hard to find play. We can't go in and see other players. If you look on YouTube, there's some great content creators, there's some great podcasts, but apart from a few, like I know one is Nick is a fellow British YouTuber who makes a lot of good Pioneer content. Check him out. I'll link to him in the description. Pioneer has a very low turnout, and one of the reasons is it's a scary commitment. It's I've got limited wildcards. What if I forge a deck and don't like it? I only see the list online, or I've seen one streamer play it. I don't know how that really goes. An ability to look through replays and be like, oh wow, I've seen 15 games of this. I really like the playstyle. I like its interaction with stuff. I think I'm going to play it. Because it would also be good to see the full extent of how the deck plays. For example, I cut a lot of control matchups if I run into them, because 9 times out of 10 I don't play out control matches. I have limited time and I don't want to spend 40 minutes losing 2 games of Magic, taking forever because my opponent doesn't close out the game. But someone could then look online and see, oh yeah, it has a really bad matchup versus this control deck. And conversely, control players could look and go, wow, they get ruffle stomped by mono red. I don't want to play that. It would be a very positive experience to give more resources out there with limited things. And from a content creator perspective, one of the things you can do, and I implore you to just YouTube search this, on Street Fighter 6, people will just upload replays of other players. And you might think, well, why would anyone do that? It might be the fact of that. Say an example, if I play someone and I see someone use some crazy ass card I've never seen before, I would be like, whoa, that was sick. I want more people to see that. I'll upload more of their gameplay with that deck. I mean, yeah, that's easy content for me, so of course I'd love that. But that's the idea, to generate hype, give anyone that resource. Like, how many times as an arena player have you had a sick match or a great thing and gone, oh, I've got no way to prove that now because there's no replay, there's no screenshot capture. I think that would be a good thing to include. Obviously, it would be a huge change, and it would be a big thing. The other second point I'm going to make here is I would love more versatility in match creation. Spectator mode is definitely one that I want. I would love, so this is the thing I want to say is, I feel we're at the point where we could hand over Pioneer to, and maybe even some standard stuff, to other people, like larger content creators. Imagine if Covert Go Blue came out and was like, we're doing a standard tournament, you know. I would love to host a Pioneer tournament with a prize, like a Steam credit or something. But it's super hard to do because we don't have the facilities to do it. I think I would love the facility for me as a creator to be like, put a match up as a spectator, send 2 invites, bring them in, have them play the match, find the winner, host a tournament that way. Like, I would love to do a double elimination, like, fighting game style tournament where 2 losses you're out, play to the winner gets things. I've seen a lot of communities thrive like that. I've seen online Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournaments work like that because they have the facilities to actually do this. You know, with lobbies and other things. Like, even a lot, like, don't even need a spectator, just give us lobbies and the ability to bring people in. You know, I've also seen, well, but the biggest one of this I want to say is Red Alert 2 Blitz maps. For those of you who don't know, Red Alert 2 Blitz is basically mini maps of an RTS strategy game with less resources, less things, and you got like 10 minutes to try and win the match. There is actually an online community of people that tournament play this all the time for little prizes, just to play each other and generate the culture. Like, it's a microcosm of a tournament scene that could be grown and is growing. And I feel that would work with Magic if we just put more resources into the actual side of it on Arena. And it has me upset because, you know, it's a simple fix. If Arena tomorrow announced, hey, we're doing a new thing where you can host a room, invite people in, and they can play matches, you know, like a battle lobby from a fighting game, I would leap on that, go through Reddit, go through other things, and just advertise a Arena online double elimination tournament with, I don't know, say a minimal amount of money prize, and just host the tournament just to get Pioneer play out there. I would also love to do crazier things. I would love to do like a budget challenge with other people, like you've got a limited number of mythics and rares to make, and, you know, highlight those. Currently we can't do that because Arena plays like, and I realize this might sound insulting, it plays like a mobile game. It is so hyper-focused on the one person turning on their thing and doing a daily goal and then leaving, that it's neglecting this other side that we could grow and work on. I feel that would be huge. So those two kind of go hand in hand, but that's something I would really love to see from Arena. I want more interactive place, you know, ways to engage. Like, I would love to host a, you know, like, here's an example from real world. There is a VTuber by the name of No Fox Is Given, does a weekly brawl stream. And the way she has to do it is because of the way this works, she has to link with the people she wants to play with, become their friends with them through Arena, then send them an invite directly one by one. And she has to manually maintain a list of who's been playing and stuff. How much easier would that be, and work greatly for a system like that if you could just open a battle lobby and be like, there's 10 places, when you come in and you lose, you get kicked out or you leave, and then the next person comes in and you move down the list. Imagine the popularity of doing that for larger scale streamers. Like, you know, imagine a brawl queue for Amazonia, or Covert Go Blue doing standard, or Aslan doing a standard thing with viewers or members. There is a market there for this. So those are two things I would love to see. I would love to see battle lobby kind of gameplay, or more ways to spectate or interact. Basically, I want it so that if someone logs into Arena and sees, this play thing here says Pioneer. I don't know what that means and I'm not that interested. But there's a button here that says I can go and look at lobbies and view people playing Pioneer. So let me go and watch these people playing Pioneer. Modo has had this function for years. You can go into a match or anything and view people. And if, the easiest way, you might say to yourself, well, what if people don't want that? You put in the function to turn off viewing. The same as Modo, the function you've had for years. Yes, so that's like my half rant, but I want those things to be positive. I want better lobby experience, more ways for people to see gameplay on Arena. And I want a replay system to highlight exciting plays. Imagine people just putting up YouTube shorts, Twitter links, posting on Reddit like, God, watch this replay, it was sick. I fought my way back from one life versus mono red and made this sick play to win the game. You could get so much more buzz for Arena and other, not just Pioneers, for Standard, for Brawl, for whatever you want to push, basically for your clients. If you use these functions, I should have said at the start, I want these things to be for each one. Okay, finally I'm going to do a tiny little point here. I'm going to half skit around the Arena economy. Now, before I get crucified, the Arena economy is terrible, and I will 100% admit that. It is going to be its own thing I think I'll definitely have to discuss. But one positive thing that I think happened recently, particularly with Arena's economy, was the introduction of the Mythic Pack. For those of you who aren't aware, it is a pack where you spend 300 extra gold. So instead of 1,000, you spend 1,300, and you get a pack from the set with a guaranteed Mythic card. I would love to see this idea expanded upon in a way. So for example, I would like for 2 more. I would like a uncommon and a common one at lower prices. For example, say 700 for the uncommon pack where you don't get a rare, but you get an additional uncommon from the set, or 500 where you just get nothing but commons from that set. I feel that would just help people spend. It's like, oh man, I need to get, crack more packs. I'll open some uncommons. I need, I'm looking for certain commons or uncommons from the set. I'll open this. I think that would help, because I think Mythic packs have been successful in that regard. I don't know how popular the other packs would be, but I feel giving people more of a incentive to look beyond what's currently there and see other ways of spending. For example, I'll put it this way. As somebody who plays every day when I can, if you have no gold and you get a 500 gold daily, and you have 4 wins, which is a lot of playtime if you don't have much time. Say you play 4 times, win 4 times, that's 900 gold. If you want to win the next pack, you have to get the 50 gold, then I think it's a cosmetic, then it's a 50 gold again. So to get a pack for that day, you have to play in 6 matches, win 6 matches even. And, that encourages a lot of play. But how different would it be, I think, if you could just get a common pack? Encourage, I don't like saying it, encourage more spending. I won't go into too much detail, but I think that would be a good thing to expand upon. So these are 3 quality of life improvements I would like to see on Arena. 1, a replay system to help people encourage and find more play. 2, lobbies, basically, I think would be the best summary of this. I would love to see gameplay lobbies, the ability to spectate and see more gameplay of different formats. Let people see formats they're interested in and find gameplay of it. And finally, I think we should expand upon the pack situation. We should have more options with the varying wildcards packs. Probably my weakest of the 3 ideas, but yes, in that order, I would love to see it done like that. Give me a replay system, a lobby system, and more pack expansion. But let me know what you think.